there. So I want to go ahead and show you a few things about your plan for your Jomon pot. So remember that you have all different types of shapes that you can make your coil vessel, and I'm going to go ahead and draw those for you. So when we talk about the Jomon culture, they had different shapes, mostly with a thinner bottom. So when you make yours, think about those shapes that you could use. Again, wider on the top, thinner on the bottom. Okay, and they usually represented this shape in their pieces. You could also, in the later part of that time frame, they did have more wider pieces, okay, with more of a stable bottom. And you can do that too as well if you want to do something along that shape. And then again, if you want to do another shape, you can. So like another shape you could do is that you could create more of a belly on your coil pot, so it has more of a rounded position. You could even make this top wider if you want. You just need to make sure your balance works. Or you can, flip it. Maybe it's wider on the bottom. So these are just a few shapes that you can do for your project, for your coil Jomon project. After you kind of determine what your shape will look like, then you can start developing your plan or drawing out your final sketch or creating your blueprint. So for your plan, you need to have multiple views. So what I mean by that, and I'm just going to draw on my whiteboard here what I plan on making. And again, you'll do this on a piece of paper. You're going to draw it a second time. Try to keep it, as similar as possible. So again, I have two similar pots. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because you're going to need more than one view on your plan, meaning you have to draw it more than once. The reason being is our piece is three-dimensional, so you can see all the way around. Okay, after you've figured out your shape and drawn your shape, then use the free area to kind of think about what combinations of coil styles that you're going to do. Remember, you have to have two or more. So again, maybe I'm going to do the upside down U, and then I'm going to maybe do like a twist. Maybe I'll do a twist above too. Again, I'm just kind of practicing on my plan what those two styles that I want to use look like. Maybe I want to do U's with squares. And maybe I like how it's repeated on this one, so maybe I'll do the same thing, but just with these shapes. Maybe I want to do triangle spirals, and then above it maybe a wavy line with round balls in between, and I'll repeat that on the bottom. Okay, so again, have little sketches or thumbnail sketches of your two designs or two styles of your coils. Okay, then you got to talk about your Charistics. So when I talk about Charistics, I am talking about what is it going to look like when you're done. So what kind of color are you going to do? So color, maybe I'll be blue. Okay, and then I'm going to say that my style of coil, so style 1, so coil, so I'm just going to put C1 for coil 1. I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do the triangular coils. So triangle spirals. Then C2 would be, let's go for twist. Okay, and then of course C3, C4, depending on how many different coil styles that you put into your piece. Okay, so now that you kind of know stuff, now you got to think about size, right? So we all are going to make something probably 5 to 7 inches tall. Okay, remember you have to have it at least 3 inches or more. Width-wise, it's probably going to be about 4 to 5. You have to be over 2.5 inches. And so I've had my size, my Charistics, my different styles kind of planned out. Then I'm going to place my different styles on my piece. So what I would do is just kind of figure out where I want to place these. I'm going to place them towards the middle. Remember, they can be towards the bottom, they can be towards the top. That is up to you where you want to place your styles. Okay, so again, I'm just drawing in how that might look, and then I'm going to draw in, I'm going to do a twist instead. So I'm going to show that way. I'm going to do a twist on the bottom too, because I just like how that frames that one coil style. Okay, and of course, do I want to do the same thing on the back? Okay, so I'm just saying that this is probably going to be the front of the piece, and then this will be the back drawing. Now remember, in some of my examples, I change it up. So again, that's up to you. Maybe you only want a style that's solely like right here, and then one on the back, and then one on both sides. That's something that you should kind of think about before you start making your piece. I want this to continue all the way around, so I'm going to continue with my shapes exactly how I want it to look on the back side. Okay, so maybe you're going to be drawing 4 of these to represent front, back, and then both sides. And that is something that you can work with if that's what you want. Okay, so now I have this drawn out. Okay, how my plan should be. Another thing I'm going to think about is, am I going to leave the outside coil exposed, meaning will I blend in or not blend in those outside coils? We're already blending in the inside. So if I decide to leave that, then I'm probably going to put that on my plan. Okay, to show those coils that will be there. If I'm going to smooth it out, then I'm probably not going to draw these in. Okay, and again, you can see in the different examples in that YouTube video what that might look like, and again, choose what you like. Okay, so in my plan, I have multiple views of my pot. I have my size, my Charistics with my style types, and then I have thumbnails of what patterns I could be using. Now I chose one and put that on my final drawing. Another thing that we need to also put down, and I'm going to put it over here, so you need to label 2 elements and 1 principle. So again, you're going to use your resources, and you're going to list 2 elements that you've used. So like in this drawing, I've used line, shape, form. I'm going to actually erase this because I have more. I dealt with space and texture. The only thing I don't have is color right now, but I'll probably work with that too in the future. So principles, remember, it's how I put my elements together, how I organize them, and I am looking, now we only have to have 1, but I'm just going to list as many as I think I have. So pattern, because I'm repeating my shape over and over again. And then I also have balance, because the way that it's set up and how the elements are placed. I might even have contrast. And I definitely have emphasis. Okay. And again, with contrast, My contrast could be the organic shape versus the geometric shape. It could be the contrast between the horizontal and then my different style of coil. It could also be, if I decide not to put the coils in, maybe it's smooth against the textured portion. Emphasis, because I'm focusing on this middle area, because this middle area is the difference. So this would be a thought out plan that you would be drawing for your Jomon coil pot. Okay.